Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today. Okay, let's just jump right in, because we are looking at a truly incredible real-life story today. We're going to break down the exact minute-by-minute timeline of how a mother's life was saved chronologically, step by step. I mean, this is a high-stakes medical emergency that literally plays out like a Hollywood thriller, but every single detail is 100% true.
Now, I want you to just keep the number 4 in the back of your mind for this entire explainer, because the absolute hero of our timeline here, the person who handled this terrifying life-or-death scenario with total precision, was only 4 years old. Yep, 4. Her name is Suzie McCash. Just try to imagine the sheer cognitive ability and, honestly, the guts it takes for someone who's only been on this planet for 4 years to navigate an emergency like this. It is absolutely fascinating.
Section 1, Mom's Illness. So to really grasp the gravity of this whole thing, we've got to start at the very beginning, hour 0. Suzie and her mom are out shopping in the coastal town of Tynemouth, England. Totally normal, routine day. But then, right at hour 1, her mom starts feeling really unwell at the shops, so they have to cut the trip short and head straight home. And man, things deteriorate fast. By hour 2, they're back in the house, and Suzie's mom goes to lie down on the sofa. But she's just lying there for a really long time. Her eyes are completely shut, and she is visibly struggling to breathe. This isn't just someone taking a nap. This is a full-blown medical emergency, and a 4-year-old child is the absolute only other person in the room to witness it. Section 2, the little one's decision. Okay, so Suzie is watching her mom struggle, and she has to figure out, is my mom really sick? And the logical problem-solving she shows in this terrifying moment is just mind-blowing. First off, she assesses the situation. She goes over and checks on her mom's breathing. When she realizes she can't wake her up, she doesn't just freeze up and panic. Nope. She heads next door to get the neighbors. But the neighbors aren't home. So, having exhausted her immediate physical options, this 4-year-old kid goes straight to the telephone and dials 999. That's the UK's emergency hotline. She literally initiated this entire rescue all by herself. Section 3, 999 Emergency Hotline. Now, when you've got a toddler on one end of the phone and a life slipping away in the very same room, communication is literally the dispatcher's only tool. And the police officer on the line here was just incredibly kind and patient. He asks her, "What's your mummy doing now?" See, he needs to assess the medical situation, but he has to do it using words a 4-year-old can easily understand. He's basically trying to paint a picture of a room he cannot see.
And Suzie replies, she's just sitting on the sofa and she's doing nothing. It's amazing. Despite the incredibly scary environment, she is just remarkably calm. She gives this perfectly literal, brave description of exactly what she's looking at. But as you can imagine, for an emergency dispatcher, hearing that an adult is doing nothing during a sudden medical episode, that is a huge, screaming red flag.
So the officer immediately follows up with, "Are her eyes open?" This is such a brilliant tactic from the operator. He uses super simple, direct yes or no questions to figure out the true severity of what's happening. He isn't asking for some complex medical diagnosis, right? He's just looking for basic vital signs to figure out if the mom is even conscious. And Suzie replies, "No, they're shut." Wow. Just think about the chilling realization that must have hit the operator the second she said that. That one short sentence completely shifts the entire timeline. It confirms to the police that the mother is totally unconscious. This is a code red emergency now, and they need to dispatch help immediately. Which leads us perfectly to this absolutely crucial instruction. The officer asks, "Can you open the door? Can you be a big girl?" Because, let's be real, it doesn't matter how fast the police and the ambulance drive to the house if they have to spend precious time breaking down a reinforced front door just to get inside. The dispatcher needs Suzie to complete one final physical task to make sure the timeline of this rescue isn't delayed by a single second. And guess what? She does it. Because of that unlocked door, the police and ambulance are able to burst into the house the very second they arrive on the scene. Emergency services take over and instantly start administering the life-saving care Suzie's mom so desperately needed. To truly grasp the stakes of the timeline we just walked through, listen to this stark medical assessment from the doctor who treated her. Her mummy was very sick. Without Suzie's phone call, her mummy might be dead now. That is the heavy reality here. This whole chronological chain of events, recognizing the breeding issue, trying the neighbors, calling 999, staying calm, unlocking that front door. Every single link in that chain had to hold tight for her mother to survive. Susie's quick thinking absolutely saved her mother's life.
Section 4. Award of Bravery. So, the aftermath of this whole terrifying event is honestly just as incredible as the event itself. It shows this beautiful ripple effect of one courageous act. Thanks to the rapid response, Susie's mom was actually okay again just about an hour later. Fast forward a week, and Susie's story is everywhere. It hits the newspapers, and the public is just completely amazed and overjoyed by this tiny, brave little hero. And then, a year later, Suzie is officially named a Child of Courage at the highly prestigious Pride of Britain Awards. It's just such a beautiful and incredibly well-deserved recognition.
And that brings us to a really powerful question that I want to leave you with today. If an emergency happened today, like right now in your house, would your child know what to do? Suzie's story is endlessly inspiring, for sure, but it's also a major wake-up call. It reminds us how absolutely crucial it is to teach our kids how to call for help, how to say their address, and how to stay calm. Because, sometimes our lives are literally in their tiny hands. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.